Hi guys, in this video I'm going to tell you the story of my friend. I literally just got off the phone with him, and he told me about the relationship ended with his girlfriend of 3 years LDR, 18 months together here, and it ended pretty badly, and all in all he ended up spending $200,000. Stick around, you're going to want to hear this story. Hi guys, so I thought I would do a different location today. This is a place called Shantan Bridge. It's in Valencia, just near Dumaguete, and you can see some of the area here as I pan my camera around. Maya is actually upstairs from the viewing deck. I'll show that to you here real quick. That is up there. But really beautiful, a lot of just beautiful flowers, beautiful landscape here. So I'll give you something a little more interesting to view today here while we're talking. Hi guys, I had to switch locations because of background noise. So to continue the story, my friend spent over $200,000 on this Filipina. And we are going to go ahead and jump into that story and tell you all about it here. Now, again, this story takes place before the pandemic, a little bit before the pandemic. They had started chatting online. They got serious. Pandemic happened. He can't get over here. He felt comfortable enough that he thought, okay, she's not living very well. He was sending her money to support her so she could get her own little boarding house or little apartment. He was also helping out the sister who needed the surgery, sending money to mom and dad, and also he was helping mom and dad, the whole family, build a house in the province, and it is a very nice house. Now, looking back, he even said to me when we first met, he said, yes, I know what you're going to say, Gio. I should not be sending money to this girl that I've never met yet, but we are serious. She seems like a really sweet girl. All the usual stuff, you know. And he ended up getting here finally after the pandemic, and the house was mostly built, and at this point, he was still sending mom, dad, and brother who had a family, I think 10,000 pesos each monthly. And he had been supporting the girlfriend or fiancée later, all the way up to the point where he arrived and they moved in together. He had to finish the property with the mom and dad. You know, he ended up completing that. He ended up buying them things like avocado trees and mango trees and planting all these things so that they could, you know, perhaps harvest the fruit and sell it at the market. He even bought them a bunch of chickens in the hopes that they would use it to have the hens produce eggs and sell the eggs, however often hens lay eggs, and take that to the market and sell it. Something for them to make money to help themselves. They ended up selling the hatchlings at 6 weeks old just for the meat. And he was upset about that because he said, listen, I sent that. I wanted you to have like a steady source of income, like selling the eggs at the market. And this is kind of a problem sometimes with Filipinos, is they only see the short-term money. They don't see the long-term. Okay, if you offered them, okay, I'll give you 100,000 pesos in cash right now, or I'll pay you 10,000 pesos a month for the rest of your life. A lot of them may not even calculate it, and they would just say, oh, give me the 100,000 right now. I suppose you could say the same about a lot of Americans too, but I think it's even worse here. Anyway, the point is, by the time it was all said and done, by the time he had entered into this relationship, built the house, had been sending the family money on a regular basis, he spent over $200,000. Now, you flash forward to today, and they are no longer together. So before they ever met in person, they were together for about 3 years. When he finally got here in person, they were together for 18 months. And at the 18 months mark, they were engaged and they were planning on getting married. So things like jealousy started to rear its ugly head. And these problems can occur, which is why I tell people, don't send money, don't build a house for somebody until you've met them, and even then be cautious about it. Now, he has told me, and I believe him, he's got the extra money. The guy brings in like $7K US a month. So could he afford to send 10,000 here, 10,000 there, 10,000 there? Sure, he could, without it really affecting his lifestyle here in the Philippines. Now, is that a huge chunk of change to send and spend for a house for a family that now is no longer your family? Yeah, it is. Now, looking at it, he might have said, you know what, this is my gift for you. When I pass away, you've got this house, your family's got a house, they're producing fruit and chickens, eggs and things like that, and so they've got a steady income. So in his head, and if it would have worked out, the relationship, then it probably would have been okay. But we never know what's going to happen in a relationship sometimes, so you got to kind of protect yourself. But it isn't money that he couldn't afford to lose, he told me. And he says, looking back at it, he says he is still okay with the money that he spent. He spent it and he could afford to lose it, therefore he is not crying over it. Now, for a lot of guys, though, the problem is they cannot afford it, and they send all their money, or they send a lot of money over to the Filipina, or they start a home build, and the relationship may end before they've even arrived here. I've seen it happen many a times where they've started, oh, no, she is different. This relationship's going to work out. No, she is so nice. She's innocent, yada, yada, yada. And by the time they get here, she's done with him already. You see these on the Rafi Tufalo show sometimes, which is the senator who's also got a podcast and a vlog, I guess, and he helps people recoup their money if they've been scammed or whatever. So he got to the point with her where she just became so jealous, where her mind just was so occupied, and he blames it a lot on social media. She just started spending so much time on social media where she didn't really do that before. And they were together literally 24/7. They hardly even separated. They were never apart for a night, always together. And his health actually took a turn for the worse. Something with his lungs, where he lost the majority of the capacity of his lungs. And the doctors actually have given him 1 to 5 years to live. And he did not want to be in this toxic relationship where the jealousy was just over the top insane. And he ended up calling things off. Now he's less $200,000, but he no longer is sending the $10,000 to mom, $10,000 to dad, $10,000 to the brother, supporting the girlfriend. So he probably was spending $800 a month or so, maybe more, maybe $1,000. So the parents, of course, contacted him and said, hey, we love you and everything, and we're sorry for what our daughter did. Are you not going to send the money anymore? And he said, yeah, unfortunately, the relationship's over. I won't be sending you money anymore. Of course, they were pretty upset about that. Well, yeah, their daughter just kind of screwed up the relationship, and now they also get to suffer from it. So the whole family gets to suffer from the breakup, which occurs in the Philippines, right? But he just couldn't stand it. He was going to go to the doctor appointment that he had made in Manila, and she had said, okay, of course I'll be coming with you, but first I would like to go to the festival in my hometown, which is a yearly occurring festival. It's not like it's some special only one time only type thing. No, this is a festival that occurs every year. So anyway, they were going to go to Manila, and they were going to do some wedding dress shopping and ring shopping and things like that, because a lot more availability in Manila. But it never happened. She thought the festival was probably more important. And so when he came up with the idea, well, I need to go to this doctor appointment. I will go to the doctor appointment. You go to the festival. Well, then she got crazy jealous, insanely jealous, to the point where she said, well, you're cheating on me. Why would you want to go alone? And he tried to explain, of course, you know, this is my life we're talking about. I have to go to the doctor, and this is something I made months ago. And she just could not get past. She thought he was cheating. Now, this is a couple that have been together for 18 months together. They have not left each other's side. They're literally with each other 24/7. Never a day gone by where they haven't even been together. So there wouldn't even be time for cheating. But I don't know how she came to this conclusion. The longer they were together, the more jealous she got, it seemed. And it got to the point at the end there where she started talking about self-harm to herself. And I told him that I would not get into details on that, and I'm not. But it took some intervention from a housekeeper and a family member to stop her from causing her self-harm. And he told me, he said, you know what, this is the last straw. He said, I can handle jealousy, I can handle this and that, arguments, whatever. But when you start threatening self-harm or trying to harm yourself, and if something happened and police got called, guess who's going to go to jail? It's going to be the foreigner. And he said, I didn't come over here for this. I didn't come here for the stress. I came here to relax. And with my limited time left in my life, I want to do exactly that. And so they ended it after 18 months and over $200,000 spent. So let this be a lesson. Do not build a house for somebody unless you've met and you've secure in the relationship. Is there any guarantee? There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee here. There's no guarantee in the States or Australia or wherever you're from that if you could lose money if you start putting your finances together, things like property and things like that. But you can protect yourself a little bit better. You cannot build a house for somebody you haven't met in person. He told me this. He said, if I could do it again, I don't have any regrets. It wasn't money that I couldn't afford to lose. Like I said, the guy makes $7K a month and he's well off. And he can't take the money to the grave. But he does admit that he would have been smarter. He wouldn't have built a house until they had met in person and known each other for a while. So he did love the family very much, and he still thinks highly of them. So he doesn't really have any regrets helping them out with the home and all of that. But again, the family's also got to suffer now because they're not going to be getting their share of the pie there right now. So everybody loses in this, all from jealousy, from who knows what. The moral of the story, don't send a bunch of money. I still stick to this fact that if you have not met a Filipina yet, the only money you should be sending is maybe money for load so you guys can video chat if she doesn't have that money. Maybe a little bit for food or something if you start to get serious, or to help with her boarding house. Other than that, wait until you've met in person to officially start a relationship and then start investing into your future together. Let me know what you guys think down below. We'll have that conversation. I appreciate it so much. Thank you guys. See you next time.